on that note, we're going to get things underway tonight.
Cool.
Welcome
Let's
back,
do this.
everyone. It's been a while since we played.
It's been a
Oh,
minute,
yeah.
I would say.
But we're here. I was like yesterday, I was so upset when it was like 2 in the afternoon. I still had a migraine. I was still in pain. I'm like, I'm not canceling tonight. I refuse. And then it got to be like 7 o'clock, and the migraine was getting worse. And I'm like, fuck. And then everyone else was having a bad day, and there were other headaches. And I'm like, no, we're going to push back 24 hours. Ugh. Anyway,
And here we are.
here we are. Welcome to the special Thursday edition.
We're
of Mother's
here.
Jail.
We're
I
very
still got the
queer.
head pain, but my medicine has started working.
Nice.
We are here.
So we're here.
We are
Yeah.
queer.
That is true.
Let's get used to it.
All right. Welcome in, everybody, to the 21st episode of Mother's Jail. Tonight's session is titled Do No Harm. Last time, when we all got together, y'all had some Resident Evil bullshit to put up with as you descended into the forests outside the city for a little bit of some fun with The Last of Us, as you all were assigned to investigate the corrupted fungus in the area and, if capable and necessary, exterminate it. After paying a visit to the bath and having some interesting conversations.
Oh, God, that was last time?
Yeah, it sure was.
Oh, shit.
Bad. Oh my god, we went through a
Oh,
lot.
shit. That was... All right.
It's a big session. You all descended into the forest where, indeed, Gus had been busy. Gus had been practicing his multiplication tables, and now Gus was everywhere. You were guided through the forest towards the kind of hive mind by a deer, or at least it was once a deer, and then by a person, or at least it was once a person. And eventually you did find Gus, a massive monstrosity of a fungus demon that you all fought. And it was indeed a demon that you all were able to eventually defeat, although not without probably some lasting trauma. As Braylee was eaten. She did survive, but she was eaten. Speaking of people who survived, Ayla wasn't one of them, as she was murdered by Gus. But when she died, she partook of a vision of a different continent of tieflings of all different colors, looking at her as a great meteor fell from the sky. And when she awoke, alive once more, she had changed, now having tiefling horns and a tail to accompany her wings. And so that was a lot. No one really knows what's going on with that. But that wasn't the only thing that happened, as indeed her lightning lash had also awakened. So that's where we're going to pick things up as we get it underway. You have just defeated Gus, and it's pretty horrible here still. All around you, this Icarus black dead fungus is now starting to petrify away. And Ayla is standing in front of you all, looking a bit different.
Oh,
I've pulled Braylee out by this point, right?
Yeah, Braylee, you...
Am I still a moose?
Everything went...
She was a moose.
Everything went dark, and then you were inside Gus, and it was bad. And then eventually you felt a hand grip your horn and start pulling you out. Ayla, you were expecting to pull Braylee out, but you pulled out a full elk.
That's right, it's elk.
Feel like Ayla just kind of stares at the elk like, don't know what
Oh,
I
God.
expected.
And the elk's probably covered in like ichor and blood and gross.
Pretty horrible.
I think Ayla's gonna turn around, look at Nova. Hey, Why is my head heavy, and why do I feel like a sock puppet that got, like, turned inside out?
You're. They approach you, and just kind of at first, like their hands are on your face, and then they keep going up, up, up. Well, this is a new addition. She kind of pulls you by the horns a little.
That feels really fucking weird.
I'll tell you what doesn't feel weird, though, is your balance is suddenly better because you have a tail to counterbalance yourself with.
Well, the the good news is, well, I love you just the way you are. And she pats her cheek. It kind of looks away. It looks up at you. It very much looks at the ground.
I think Ayla just kind of blue screens right there.
We we should get away from the Gus and the grossness. I hope that it's Braley as an elk. And not a random elk that Gus
I mean,
devoured.
they haven't run away yet, so...
Elkley is probably just like dead still, like trying to check out in their ranks. They're so disgusted what they just been through. So Elkley's probably just gonna follow, like, take Ayla's lead away silently.
Ayla, you may add Lightning Lash Awakened to your inventory. It is a +2 whip now and does an extra 2d4 on hit, lightning damage. In addition to still having Child of Storms, it now has lightning reflexes as well. You may cast the Thunder Step spell once per long rest without expending a spell slot.
Ooh.
Is anyone else dying? I forgot.
I think Ramiel might have been unconscious.
I thought we stabilized him before.
You did, yes. And presumably Layla would give some HP to get Ramiel back to consciousness. Or Layla's pissed at Ramiel and is just letting him die.
Layla? Oh.
Oh, Discord.
Discord froze.
Oh. Fun.
What's We'll take a minute. Your video's still working. That's the weird part.
Well, the video's not through Discord.
Yeah, that's the
I know,
video,
no, I
Ninja.
know. I just mean so it's
Yeah.
not your internet.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
Oh,
But yes,
well,
Oh, there we
you
go.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love when that keeps happening. It's like the third time we've been playing it. It's like, oh, things directly asked me, and Discord just is like, not frozen.
Nope.
Do you need us to repeat?
It was something about healing Ramiel.
Yeah,
which I
presumably you got
believe-
Ramiel back to consciousness, yes?
Yeah. I think
Alright.
we had done that at the
Yeah.
end.
So, Ramiel, as you awaken, there's an elk, and there is what looks like an Ayla, but Ayla has changed.
And Nova
Or
looks
maybe
changed.
not. Maybe you got hit really hard in the head.
Mostly Ayla.
He's looking up at who he can presume are not Gus. And he goes, I think Did I fucking die? It feels like I'm...
No. We made
Then
we made it.
Most of you sort of took some pretty
Then
hard hits,
Yeah.
except for me.
then care to explain why exactly she looks different?
Which she.
And he kind of like gestures over to to Ayla.
Also notice.
Because last I remember,
That is different.
last I remember, you didn't have any fucking horns or a tail.
I would
You
have
only had
remembered.
the wings.
Trust me, I would have remembered the horns.
Handlebars.
Oh, the horns are what you would have remembered.
Oh, the tail, sure. Grumble, 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 grumble.
Ayla, also good news. You no longer hear creepy whispering all the time.
Oh.
Gonna unpack that one later.
Now you just feel a assurance, as if someone is watching. In a good way.
Oh,
Not in a
good.
creepy way.
Not in a creepy way.
Right. Everyone is okay, or at least like, or in a walking
We're,
mood.
Nova
Or,
will reach out to Elcles, kind of like big nose chin, just to make sure she's breathing. Just kind of pats her cheek. We're all breathing at least, but I think some of us could use
I
a
do
bath.
believe we're all in one piece. I don't know if we're okay, but we're in one piece.
We're gonna
I-
unpack that later. Very, very much later. I'd very much like to get out of this fucking place and take advantage of that bath again.
I think that can be agreeable for all of us, but we will want to give the good news to our leader. The good news is, Gus is no more. The last of him is gone.
It would still be of vital import if we were to ask them to raise this area at the very least and
Yeah,
make sure
burn that
that
salted, make sure nothing grows again.
Something to that effect, yes. And hopefully, the whatever residents were infected, not anymore. Hopefully.
Yeah, that
Right.
could have gone real bad if their brains calcified.
Indeed. Well, shall we start walking?
Yeah, I could use like the longest soak
Yes,
in those hot
please.
springs.
Yeah, you're probably all going to be requested to shower first.
Yeah, that's fair. We don't want to contaminate the community bath.
Mm-hmm.
Braylee, do you wish to transform back, or
Elkley's just gonna like shudder a little bit, just like shake some ichor off, but she's staying in elk form. If we
Mm.
get to like the beach, she'll probably run into like the water.
Does the stomp and snort?
Yeah.
So, you all begin your journey back. It is definitely a lot nicer on the way back than it was going in.
Oh.
This dark ichor is all now petrifying away, so the ground no longer gives way underneath your boots. It is, well, it does in some places still, but it's starting to find some semblance of normal and healing now that the source of the corruption is dead, but it will take time. And as was suggested, salting and burning this place would not be the worst idea ever proposed.
Bit fucking dusty in here.
It is a little dusty now, yeah, with petrified Gus remains. But you make your way out of this forest, And indeed, as you step out of the forest, you do see the beach there and the water, the waves lapping up onto the shore. If you wanted to rush over and clean off.
Elkley's gonna last unicorn that shit, like dash into the
Yeah.
water.
I
just
feel
kinda
like-
Oh, I love
Ayla-
that reference so much.
yeah.
I feel like Ayla grabs Nova and just dives them both into the water.
There's
See-
definitely a feeling of like it's never coming out of your armor. You all just have accepted
See,
that.
see, Nova was
We
thinking
hope to
of
get
diving.
baptized now.
See, Nova was thinking of diving headfirst in that water to cool their head. But now that Ale is there, that's not happening anytime soon. So that's fine.
Layla will just sit in like the tide as it's coming up.
You notice a couple things
hug our
as
knees.
actually, Layla, make a perception check for me.
Oh no.
Oh no, it's in the
Get my
water
dice-
now.
Jellyfish.
dice tray.
No.
Gus is jellyfish now.
I already used up all my pee in that battle.
Huh?
What?
For the jellyfish stings. Got it.
That's what you're supposed to do if you've got.
I think that's a
Ah.
myth. I don't think you're actually supposed to do
You know,
that.
that might be true.
Someone got a clip of that, right?
We can. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Whoops, I navigated to my character's page, but I didn't open the sheet. Whoops. You said perception? That's a 19.
You notice a few things. First of all, the environment in general seems a little less strenuous. It's like the environment around here exhaled collectively, which is nice. You also notice some new ships in the bay, one of which you recognize as the Lady in Waiting.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you notice that. And outside of that, it's a beautiful day. Much more beautiful than it was this morning.
I will point the ships out to everybody. Look. Friendly folk.
Oh, well, they came just in time to not be eaten by mushrooms. Garble, garble, because I'm in the water.
I feel like you're probably back by now.
Brayley, are you still an elk?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Oh no.
Oh no.
How long does this last?
Forever.
It might
Wild
be 10
shape's
minutes.
a couple hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
is
think-
it? I never remember. Is it like a couple hours or 10 minutes?
I think it's
Wild
a
shape
while.
is hours.
How do
Okay.
you force me out of wild shape?
You usually get your HP
Yeah,
down.
normally
Yeah.
we take you to 0 HP.
Oh my
okay,
god, I
so-
forgot her HP before.
Yeah, she had low HP before. Although.
Number of hours equal to half your druid level.
Oh, so that would be.
So quite a while.
3 right now.
3 hours.
Still a while.
Oh man.
So, you spend some time getting the Gus off of you. It's there and there and there. It's everywhere,
sand.
really. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
there's some there too.
yeah, it's
Surprise!
It's everywhere. It's not great. But after getting relatively cleaned off, you all start making your way up towards the town itself. Most of you aren't given a second look. The elk is. As everyone's like, as the guard's like, yep, come on, come on.
She's with us.
Hey,
She's
wait
with
a
us.
minute.
What do you mean she's with you?
She's with us. She's our elk.
She's a druid.
Oh.
Oh, come on. I was going
Okay.
to
She's
try to.
just-
I was
Elk
going to
Kitty's
tell
just
him
gonna
we've
give
had an
him,
elk
like-
the entire time.
I appreciate your love of mischief, but I really need to get to those hot springs because my back is.
She's a druid who
No.
can wild shape.
Right. Okay.
The elk's just gonna give him like this side eye, like
Yeah, you know what? Move along.
just like let it go.
Move along.
Thank you for your understanding.
You know what? Don't mention it. No, I mean don't mention it to anyone. Actually, don't bring it up.
Your secret is safe with me.
Yeah.
All right, do these showers. Well, I guess we already showered. Do the baths.
Hit the showers. I'm
So not to be that person, but I will say most of you have no problem getting into the bath. However, there is a distinct no pets sign on the door.
I will look to Bradley.
Is someone monitoring these baths?
Yeah, the person who owns them.
An elk is really big.
Yes.
This isn't like bringing a dog. I don't know if he can fit through the door.
Rayleigh's gonna just
Have to
chill
go
out.
sideways.
You want me
No,
to
the
change back
antlers
to
and
open?
height would be your problem.
All
Oh,
right.
He's just gonna stand outside.
All right. You stay outside as
suppose we will-
everyone
No, you
else
c-
goes in.
No, Heartslaw is right. You can drop it.
Yeah,
willingly.
she knows she can.
She knows
she
she
just
can.
isn't.
She doesn't
Don't
want
want
to. That's not the problem.
Rayleigh's just been eaten. She was eaten as a person. She's traumatized. She's gonna stay in her safe form for a
If
little
I'm-
while longer.
You're Aqua in the cage. Got it.
She thought she was gonna die.
If
Being
I'm
an
that
elf enough,
shape,
fair
I
enough.
can't get eaten.
Space.
There's nothing
Mm.
with a big enough mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
We'll come back for you.
Or hold on. I think because I think this is something I can do. Let me just make sure.
You go to large minimize?
No. I'm
Reduce,
going-
sorry. I couldn't think of the name of the spell. That might make the problem worse, actually. Don't reduce the size. She likes being big right now.
I'm going to snap my fingers and cast Prestidigitation on Brayley.
Uh-huh.
Make that coat luster.
Okay. Yep, you are able to clean Brayley with the prestidigitation spell.
Brayley's gonna like snort and thanks.
Mhm. It's like we'll be back for you if you need us. And we're going to turn to whoever is like operating this and go. If anything happens to her, you answer to us.
The woman who owns this is an elven woman, probably in her early 120s.
Yeah.
She is old. She is barely hanging together, and she just looks up at you. She's like, "What?"
Ah.
Ramiel, I think it will be okay.
No pets. I'm sorry.
Oh no! It's fine. They're our service animal.
Uh-huh.
A bunch of us have some trauma. She helps
The
us.
service animal
elk.
has trauma.
Emotional support elk.
The surgery's down that way.
No. It just make sure she doesn't wander off if something does happen. Some
lady's
of us
not
have
gonna
some
stop
hot
it out.
flashbacks.
How do you want me to stop her?
She does follow the stay, I believe.
I've never
Which-
told an elk to heal before.
Elkley's just gonna like give you the side eye like
Yeah, do the
Mm,
The
you don't need
antler.
to look like go through this right now.
Okay.
Let's put our wheel lock bar on her antlers so nobody steals her.
If you call her name, she'll recognize it, and she'll recognize you as a friend, right,
Like,
Rayleigh?
and
Brayley, that's a pretty name. My daughter's name was Brayley.
Oh, well then.
Is this your long lost grandma?
Mhm.
what's happening?
I don't know. We need to get to the bath.
But yes, well, I hope you have a lovely time with Brayley. Thank you for letting us use your establishment for a little bit. We will be in here for a little while.
Of course. Just, leave it how you found it.
Will do. Thank you. Thank you.
This old woman, Brayley, this old woman comes out and sits down next to you and just pats your back. That's a good elk. I'm going to tell you all about my family.
Elkley's just gonna like like her whole body just like Okay. I'm just gonna take it.
You're
That's a
gonna be
big
li-
dog sigh.
you're gonna be listening to this woman's stories for the next 2 hours. She has lots of stories about her grandkids.
All right. Well,
Well, you ladies enjoy your side of the bath. I will. Supposedly I will pull an Ayla and brood.
The fuck? I'm right here.
I know.
just trying to think of a pun with that with horns, but it did not come to mind. So we're gonna keep going.
Cornly.
Horn, buddy. Anyway. Once we get in the bath, Nova will look to Ayla and go, Man, I feel like I'm missing out. I'm the only one between you and Oscar without the horns.
It's really fucking weird, to be honest.
How did it happen?
Okay, so, well, considering I woke up in Gus's throat, I assume I got eaten by Gus.
Unfortunately so.
I maybe had the vision of one of my past lives that was a tiefling,
Oh.
which is also apparently why I have the whip. So yeah, that's
That is interesting. Pretty cool, but strange.
yeah. I think the vision was of the night the sky burned because there was a giant fucking meteor, and gonna be honest, that's a lot to process.
That sounds like something a historian would like to hear from. You know, because
Or they just think I'm insane.
I suppose we wouldn't want them to think you're insane. That is true. Then they would lock you up somewhere, and I wouldn't see you again. Although probably Oscar could get you out. Still. Sorry. If you can't tell, I use humor often to deflect when things get awkward. And, well, I think when I almost died, I somewhat underestimated how much pain that must have been for you until it happened to me. And, honestly, I would rather be dead than see that again.
I think Ayla just kind of pulls you into a hug.
You get
Look,
a hug back.
I think what really matters is we both made it through.
Yeah.
Layla, as you're watching this disgusting display of affection, you hear a rumble of thunder in the distance. It is steady, not like the randomness that you're used to of thunder. Like you almost think it's like an avalanche or something like that. Or if you didn't know better, like a train passing in the distance. But amidst that rumble, you hear a word as plain as day. Sable.
What?
I start around, like, just surreptitiously trying to see if the others heard that.
No one seems to have noticed that.
Sort of sink back a little. Sort of look around. For right now, we're gonna chalk that up to stress.
Outside, Brayley, you're sitting there and you're listening to this old woman. And then Alara's kids. She's got 12. There's Ardril and Leroth. There's Orim. There's Perfal and Melandric, the twins. And then there's Onvir. No, Onvir is... I'm going to have to start over. Meanwhile, back inside.
She's gonna stay an Elcon. I don't know what to tell you.
It's totally fine.
She's staying that out.
I mean, you're going to time out eventually, but yeah.
How dare you make me face my feelings?
Yeah, imagine that.
Imagine
In all seriousness, though, between the walk back and the time they're in the bath, your time does expire as an elk. And as you transform back, you don't transform into what you're expecting to be. Your ears don't appear out the side of your head. They pop up through the top of your hair. Your face is almost a little elongated, and your sense of smell is suddenly incredible. For purging the corruption within the forest and protecting nature, Faunus Choker has awakened, and the spirit of nature is further entwining within your soul, making you even more the beast within. You've also grown about a half a foot and are even more muscular than you were before.
Why am I the shortest now?
Yeah, those last two things.
In addition to being a +2 bonus to your attack and damage rolls made with unarmed strikes and natural weapons, you also now have feral reflexes, granting you a sense of smell that is heightened and giving you 10 feet of blind sight. You have +10 to your movement speed and advantage on dexterity saving throws. So you may add Flora's Choker Awakened and attune to it.
Fancy.
Werewolfly.
You are indeed becoming what looks more like a werewolf.
Sure, that's not gonna backfire ever.
A sexy werewolf?
I would say yes, a very sexy werewolf. I mean, picture Luna in Hazbin Hotel, that's basically what you're turning into. Or sorry, in Hell of a Boss is Luna.
Hell of a boss,
Yeah.
yeah. Your furriness level may be defined, I think.
It is defined by whatever you want it to be. I'm not being too specific.
Okay.
The old woman looks over and goes, "Where did the elk go?" They said they'd beat me up if I lost her.
Damn it, Ramiel. This is why we don't threaten people.
Brayley's just gonna like slowly look at her and just be like, I think you'll be okay.
I hope so.
Yeah, they're not gonna beat you up.
Okay. I was a pretty good fighter in my day, but I don't know if I can take on 5 at a time anymore.
I think you still got it in you.
You know what? You're right. I'm gonna enlist. She gets up and starts walking off.
Wait, you have grandchildren, don't you?
Oh, yes. Would you like to hear about them?
Sure.
Well, and she starts the whole list over again.
Oh boy.
Grandma ASMR.
Halfling Wizard, thank you for the follow. Indeed. So when you all eventually emerge from the bath, Brayley is there, but she looks different.
Oh.
Yeah, Nova, you have to look up at her now.
Damn it, man. Come on. I tried to make a character that was normal size.
Sort of dart eyes between her and Ayla. There seems to be some of that going around, it appears.
Apparently so, and I thought the change in air color was a bit much.
I'm sorry, I lost your elk.
Oh, that's
Oh,
no.
that's perfectly fine.
But
Don't know how I lost it. It's pretty big.
But it appears you did find our friend. And for
Wait,
that,
what's-
we thank you.
Your friend is a werewolf, just so you know.
I can see that.
What's the old lady's name?
Oh my God.
Do you have a
Oh,
name?
I'm
I
sorry,
do,
I'm
I know I
sorry.
have her name. Her name, Ashandil.
I love her.
They'll always ask for a fucking name.
Ashandoland.
Ashandil, yeah.
I feel like
it's-
Ayla just looks at Nova and goes, okay, so like, I'm thinking this is just happening because of proximity to you at this point.
I didn't do anything. Next thing I know, Asuka's going to become a. Oh goodness, I don't know. Can change her form somehow.
It could be. You might be a carrier without having any symptoms, dear.
The carrier of what?
Any number of things. That's how 12 of my grandchildren died.
Thank you for
I
that. Existential horror.
It's part of the cycle of life. That's what the doctor told me when he gave me the medicine.
How old are you again?
I'm 124.
You don't look a day over 80.
Thank you, darling. You are, you know what? No charge for you.
Please, it's the least I can do.
You guys are getting this place for free.
Yeah, I was gonna say we weren't getting anyway.
Yeah.
We.
I assure you, Nova Yarn, quite good health.
Right,
Well, that's good.
We had a scratch in that bottle.
Watch out for consumption. And she starts walking back inside.
Ooh, that is an old one.
Rayleigh's gonna like reach up, like touch like her ears. Is it bad? I
No,
obviously haven't like
It's
looked at my.
noticeable.
it's a new look. It's furry.
It is that.
If Arkwright gives you shit about it, he'll have to answer to me.
I think he will.
Ooh, if he gives her shit, can I try headbutting him? I've always wondered what that'd be like with horns.
Yes, please.
Oh my goodness.
Actually, give him 2 lumps for one for calling me. What the fuck was it that he called me?
Dork
Yeah,
ass
just-
loser.
Oh what? Oh,
You guys are so mean to Kelsifer, who's never done anything wrong.
he's been an
Yes,
absolute
exactly.
gentleman.
I was gonna
Uh.
say I'm not mean to him.
That's true.
I'll
You're mean to Ramiel.
I'll approach Brayley
Like
and
recognizes like. Listen,
I'll just kind
he
of
knows.
pat her
Sorry, go
arm.
ahead.
Look at it this way. Now I am the shortest one. Damn it! Now you can look down at me. If you want to.
Honestly, why wouldn't she?
Thanks, Ayla. Thanks, darling.
So,
Yeah, I don't know
Um,
what it says about me being surrounded by all of you ladies. Definitely not the message that I want to send.
Excuse you. We're hot.
Well, yes, you are.
Thank you.
I'll
You
say,
know, if
says
you're
a
into
voice.
that kind of thing.
Looking around, what's the voice?
Captain Lilian Akanai is approaching. As
Make way.
she approaches up the road and looks at you all. It is good to see you all again.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
werewolf among you.
That's Brayley.
She kind of like narrows her eyes. Oh,
Two
It's new
things
to me.
change.
It's new to me too.
it. You look hot. Looks great.
I was eaten alive.
That is
Oh
I'm
shit,
sorry.
that's what happened to. It's not you, Nova.
Is
It's
that
'cause Gus ate us.
is that what's a Gus?
Rayleigh's
I
gonna
Better
like
that you don't know, honestly.
really.
You
Rayleigh's
don't
gonna
want-
find a
You
bush
don't
and
wanna
like
know.
we will
Oh.
be filing an official report if
Yeah,
you
we
are
should-
present in the debriefing, you'll understand, or maybe
We
you
should go
won't.
do that, by the way, because that forest needs to fucking burn.
Would you like to walk with us?
I feel like
Captain?
I missed something.
You did, but be glad you
Yes.
did.
Okay.
And in fact, I think someone needs a very nice deep tissue massage, yes? Looks over to Layla.
Yes, please accompany us.
We
All
love
right.
a direct woman. All right, let's go.
Yeah, sure. She starts walking along with you all as you make your way up to
Wait,
the.
Brayley, are you still in the bush?
Oh, Brayley was throwing up.
Oh, okay.
Reliving the insides of.
Of Gus.
But
Yeah.
after she's done with that, she'll follow you guys.
Okay.
slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, so our attack on Fort West Road went pretty well. After that, I was ordered to patrol there, but that sounded boring, so I sailed here instead.
Oh, well. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Yeah, I've been chewed out before.
Layla's doing that very awkward, like, walking close but trying not to be too close thing.
Duly noted.
I feel like Ayla bumps her over towards Lily with her tail.
So Lily is like, so I can't help but notice you didn't have a werewolf and a tiefling before. Now you do. That's a lot.
It's, yeah.
Does this go back
We-
in?
We had quite an experience
Maybe under a new moon.
Yeah.
there in the forest.
I can't wait to hear all about it. As you're walking, Layla, it's been about an hour since you heard the voice. When you hear it again, that kind of deep, distant rumbling.
She will noticeably whip her head around.
As it says, "Where is she?"
Just very noticeably starts whipping her head around.
You looking for something cute stuff?
Did anybody else hear that?
Ear what?
No, I notably stopped hearing voices, so like, if
Oh,
it
that's
jumped to you,
good.
that's probably bad.
Ooh. Oh no, the voices are spreading.
Okay. And just sort of blinks a few times and just starts doing like deep breathing.
You head up to meet with Commander Alspeth, who seems relieved to see you all. Someone else is there who does not look relieved, and that is Asuka,
Ooh.
who is kind of pacing as you all enter, and she immediately looks on the group. Shit. What? Captain Akanai? What are you doing here? And Lily shrugs. I was bored, so I'm here. And Tessa just shakes her head like, yes, that's how that works. So, you all didn't take Arya with you, did you?
No, of course not.
No.
She looks at Asuka, who grimaces. Okay. Arya told us this morning that she was going with you on a mission.
No. That would... I don't think Ramiel would stand for that.
I haven't seen her since
Or
last
Sid,
night.
for that matter.
Great. Okay. She looks to Tessa. Permission to take Rain and search, and she nods. Granted. Go. Report back by nightfall. And Asuka nods and hurries out.
What's happened?
Well, um, this morning, apparently, Arya informed her commanding officer that she was had been assigned to you guys to go on some mission, and they were fine with that until a guard said that they saw her leaving out of the north gate, and you guys left out of the south gate. So we have been waiting for you all to return, hoping that she had just gone out the wrong gate for whatever reason. It would seem not.
I think Ayla will just toss Ramiel the sending stone.
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead.
And Ramiel is going to hold it up and ask Arya, "Where are you?"
Is that the whole message you send out? 3 words?
Yeah.
It's a hesitant few moments before you get a reply back that says, I'm not here for this war. I'm here to get Mom back, and that's what I'm going to do.
And Ramiel is going to hand the stone over to Ayla. And he's going to stand at attention and address Commander Alsbeth. Permission to inform General Tashira of progress.
Granted. Go.
Thank you. He salutes and he's going to leave hurried.
You leave in a hurry and make your way over to the general's quarters, which is 2 buildings over.
Poor Ramiel and Tashira.
Meanwhile, Tessa looks to the rest of you, noting Ayla and Brayley.
They're fine. Also, I'm not a carrier of a disease, I swear.
That's a very specific thing to open with.
Let's start with the good news. The strange being seems to be destroyed.
Demon. It
It
was
was-
a demon.
That is the bad news. I was getting to that.
You can confirm it was a demon.
I trust Ayla's
It-
eyes on that one.
I didn't know it for sure until it ate me. But it was a demon. Salt it, burn it. We need to make sure it can't come back. It had spread itself through the whole forest.
So fast.
The question is, how did it get here? I thought those weren't supposed to come.
Well, it said its
Exist.
mother dragon sent it.
I'm sorry, what?
Am I the only one that heard that?
I don't remember.
You did all hear that.
Okay,
That it said that mother sent it, and when asked who its mother was, it said dragon.
Okay.
Yes, it did, which is alarming.
To say the least of it.
Dragon. I mean, that can't be possible.
We wouldn't think so. Okay. I'll send soldiers out to burn out whatever remains and salt the ground beneath it. Nothing will grow there for 100 years, but
Better than having a mushroom demon come back.
yes, better than that. Well done, everyone. That I can't
Is
say
there
that
food?
food. Yeah, of course we can provide food. What are you hungry for?
Brayley's just like, she's a werewolf. She's like, hey, mom, meat, Yeah,
Bring it
fresh
to me
sheep.
still mooing.
Is
Yeah.
there a
Well,
cow somewhere?
we've got mutton. We could do mutton, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, why don't you excuse yourself down to the mess hall and get something to eat? You look peaked.
Does this like go back in?
It's
Just touching her ears and like her her like face. She's like, does this?
Okay, before, can I do something? Looking at Brayley.
Okay.
She's gonna scritch behind Brayley's ear.
Riley's like, she starts to feel like her leg go. She's like, no, stop it. Slaps her.
Brayley, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god.
No. Okay. I don't want to read it. I want to roll it. Please.
new method of affection unlocked.
Okay. You really want to start like kicking your leg a little bit and wagging your tail. You just realized you have a tail, by the way.
Oh, whoa.
You really want to. It feels really good, but you refuse. You will not give her the satisfaction, so you're just like, no, don't feel anything.
I feel like Ayla just looks down and sees Brayley also now has a tail and goes, "Oh, you too, huh?"
Oh, maybe there is something about Nova.
What did I
I'll,
do?
I'll excuse myself.
After you go down to the mess hall, you order a lot of food. Like, you ask for basically the whole sheep.
Meat on meat.
Yeah. After you eat, your symptoms do seem to reside. Your tail vanishes, your ears return to where they should be, your snout even pulls back into your face. You look like you did before you transformed. But
It's some normalcy.
when you get hungry, yeah, you're gonna change.
Is it only one type of hunger?
Oh, that is not.
Yeah, that's the face of it's not.
I just had a feeling it could be relevant. Only reason
Yeah,
I asked.
Let's note
In
that
this
down.
party, never.
Meanwhile, Tessa nods to you. So there's a demon here.
Was? Hopefully.
Well, its
I
mother
believe-
is apparently around.
Is Tessa also dragonborn?
No.
No, Tessa's an elf.
Okay.
So is dragon ear? Wouldn't we know if dragon was ear?
One would think so.
Yeah,
No one
that-
knew Scala still existed until she showed herself.
Too true.
Hey, I don't want to be
Well.
the person to draw the conclusion that nobody wants to. But, didn't Shagrath insist the Dawn Scale was a demon?
Yes, says Tessa. Or it says Lily, rather. They've been saying that for a while. That the Dawn Scale was a demon in ivory scales.
I would like to go talk to Rashira.
All you gotta do is think.
Rashira, dear. When you suggested I take the scale of the Dawn Scale, is there a special reason behind that?
I had heard tales that the scales off the Dawn Scale could grant a wish.
From who?
One of the men in the brothel that I was in.
Um,
I didn't actually think you would be able to do it, mind you.
You have so little faith in me.
Well, no offense, but you was a daughter of Or, and I did not think you would actually get close to the leader of the Draconic Legion.
Well, look at me. I was very determined, all right? I thought my soul was gone.
Okay, well, I'm not saying that I was right. I'm just saying at the time it didn't. You know what? Fair point.
Let bygones be bygones.
I will endeavor never to doubt you.
Thank you. That is appreciated. You see Nova look annoyed for a little bit before saying, apparently there are rumors that the Dawn scale, a scale of 1, could grant wishes. I'm not saying such fairy tales exist. I merely mean that to say that, well, why would the rumors be flying around if there is not some truth to the magical power behind the Dawn scale? I think Nova internally realizes, oh fuck, I was working for Dragon? That's not good. Decides to put that aside for another day.
Bummer.
Bummer.
We'll unpack that later.
Do you have that drop?
How are
Do we have time to unpack that?
Not on Discord.
That's
unfortunately.
okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Sorry.
Ramiel, you head a couple doors down and ask to speak with General Tashira, saying you have permission from Commander Alspeth, and you are indeed granted an audience. Tashira is behind their desk. They look very tired, like they have not slept very well the last few days, and are I think for the first time, Ramiel, when you look in this room, you see that your mother isn't the young woman she once was. She looks visibly older when you look at her right now.
Ramiel will continue to stand at attention by the door until he's addressed.
It's fine, Ramiel. You can come in. What, I understand you were fighting something horrific in the forests.
Some sort of entity, that called itself Gus.
Gus?
Gus, the self-same name of the scout that went missing.
Right. What would you guess this thing was if you had to?
I don't have to. It told us plain and simple. It was a demon.
She stops writing, putting her quill down and looks up at you. A demon.
Spawned by dragon.
By dragon.
The dragon.
Yeah, the one and only. Dragon. Are you sure about this?
I am. If it wasn't for the channel that you entrusted to me, I would not have even entertained a thought.
Your mom once told me that dragon was the first dread demon. And there are still some who believe that all dragonborn are dread demons ourselves, even if on a lesser scale. And of course, I don't believe that, but...
Well, they've never met Mum.
No, they haven't. If they had met her, well, they would know that we're capable of being something far more annoying than dread demons.
Your mother.
Yeah. Trust me. She could get annoying. But then so could I.
Well, I'm glad to see that Mum isn't the exception to Dragon Ball.
Huh.
I
No.
um I see a lot of her in one of my companions, actually.
Hmm.
I think her and Mum would get along.
And which companion is that?
Layla. Although technically I suppose we are related. He kinda like looks up at that. I believe so. These family trees get a little confusing, but we share a common denominator in Asia, as it turns out. But
I guess that would explain the scales.
that it would. But I am still keeping my my name, if that is agreeable.
Raimi, it's your name. We gave it to you. It's yours to do with what you want.
You haven't used that name in a long time.
Now, sometimes it feels appropriate. Like when you're being a goof.
I'm quite sure you wouldn't want to refer to me as a dork-ass loser.
A dork-ass loser. And who called you that?
Oh, well, that's a secret.
Oh, I see. I order you to tell me.
Ah, that's low. Well, if you must know, it was Officer Arkwright.
Wonderful. And I was just wondering who was going to clean the mess hall tonight.
Oh, no, don't do that. Ayla's already giving him 2 lumps, one for me, one for, well, if he decides to be an ass about Braylee's new form.
I suppose it is worth asking, were you being a dork-ass loser?
I was not. I was having some quality time thinking about things.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly, the having to come to terms with the fact that I may have feelings for people.
People? You have feelings?
Yes, I know. It's quite a shock, really.
And here, I always thought my fussy little dragon never would.
And Ramiel makes a face at that. Fussy little
Always
dragon.
so withdrawn, except for when he was being overly dramatic. I remember.
Well, it's not my fault I grew around lots of Dragonborn and wanted to become one.
Well,
Much to my disappointment when I didn't grow any scales, and, well, I suppose I'm living my childhood dream.
If Dragon is involved in some way, then we really do need to find your mother.
You mentioned a promise in her journal. One she made to Dragon.
Yes. Your mother was not one to look away from someone in pain and try to, and be able to ignore it. But there are those who cannot be helped because they don't want to be.
Some would say the same for Scarlet.
It's worth noting she's dead. and she ended many lives before she died. I'm giving you
I-
an assignment. It's not
And-
one you'll be able to do right this moment, but it is an overarching objective. I need you to locate your mother. I need you to get any information you can from her about Dragon. And if it comes to it, we will kill Dragon.
There is a pained and complicated look on Ramiel when he hears the assignment from Tashira.
She notes it. You disagree with me.
No. I'm not capable of forgiving in the same sense that Mum can.
Few are. And that's not a bad thing.
And he shakes his head at that. Mum would extend an olive branch to people who hurt her family.
Yes.
I would see to it that they suffer the pain they caused fourfold with no hesitation. I'm nothing like Mum.
Ramiel, I want to tell you something very important. And I want you to remember it when you are finding yourself with a tough choice to make. The idea of making someone suffer fourfold the pain they caused, you can't. Pain and suffering is a reflection of love. And for those who have no love, they cannot truly feel suffering. No matter what you do to them, you will never make them feel the suffering and the pain they inflict. Seek instead justice. Revenge is an empty promise.
Revenge may be an empty promise. But for a few years, it was all I had. Revenge against the person who took away my chance.
It wasn't all you had. You've always had us. And now you have your friends too.
I wouldn't have had any of this. Because I hated her. I hated Melody of the Ivory for not being there. For not giving Scala the justice that I sought for what she did to my home.
You think that makes you a bad son?
I don't deserve to be called your son.
Hmm.
I harbored feelings of resentment against a hero, against a whisper in silence. And what does she do? She extends her hand to me, gives me a second chance. Someone as undeserving as I am, when so many of my betters do not get to live, not get to see what sort of legacy they leave behind. What makes me any special than them? What makes me different?
You're asking the question that you're supposed to be answering. There was nothing when you were little, when we adopted you. There was nothing that made you any more special or different than any of the others. They all deserved love. They all deserved a chance at living. It's your job now to answer why you were special, why you were the right choice. And you do. Every day.
With all due respect, General Tashira, I cannot accept this assignment.
With all due respect, Lieutenant Ramiel, get the fuck over it. This
No,
is your assignment.
You misunderstand. Someone has taken initiative. To do so.
You see a muscle twitch in her cheek. Have they?
Which, is the reason for my presence here. So if I might make a recommendation, I would like a modification to this assignment. That myself, or if you would like the rest of the mortal reminders, to rendezvous with Officer Arya, as she has had half a day head start.
Your assignment will be indeed to go and get your sister. But not yet. First, we need to find out where she's going. Obviously, her end goal is the Dawn Scale if she wants to get her mother back. But there are a lot of ways to get there. We need to know which one she's taking. I'll send out scouts. Find out what I can. And when I have a lead, I will send you.
Thank you.
For that mission in particular, you will report to me, not to Commander Alspeth. Commander Alspeth is not to hear a word about this mission. Am I understood?
Crystal.
She stands up and walks over and kisses the top of your head. You were every bit the right choice. Don't ever make me repeat myself on that. I love you.
And he visibly stiffens before wrapping trembling arms around as much of Tashira as he can.
She hugs you very tightly and just holds you for a minute. And then when she releases you, she nods. dismissed.
And he salutes the very misty-eyed.
That night, as you all start getting settled in, it is indeed late when Asuka and Rain return back, having not turned anything up. They look very frustrated, but they obviously can't be out after dark. If they get caught by one of the prototypes, they will be in trouble, so they decide to return in for the evening.
We explained some things to Asuka.
Yes, you can explain everything to Asuka at that point.
Horn buddies. I have 2 hands.
Ramiel, eventually you hear that Orion is awake and conscious, and when you go to see him, Canis Mistal is also there and is sitting next to him. So you're able to catch up with him as well. The night is strange, uneasy. Change is in the air, as if the way things were before are never how they'll be again. You have dangerous assignments lurking in front of you. You have the knowledge that a dread demon was here, and that one still is on this continent. Not just any dread demon, the first dread demon, and one of the most powerful to ever exist. And as you rest, Layla, your night is a little awkward as you're trying to get to sleep, because in the distance you hear that thunder rumbling again. Sable.
Does it sound like it's sort of coming from somewhere? Like, look out the window or anything?
Yeah, as you look out the window, it's coming from above and definitely from outside, and this time it is persistent. And whether that's just because it's actually keeping it going for longer, or now with the rest of everything quieted down, you can just hear it better, it does maintain. Where is she?
What? She?
As you speak to this thing, you feel yourself drawn forward as if it's trying to bring you out.
Oh dear.
Obviously, you have a ledge to hang on to, so you aren't able to be pulled out, but it's like
Yeah.
it's calling to you. It feels like that.
Feel the tug.
Yeah.
What? Who are you?
Make an insight check.
Okay. That is an 11 on the die for 19.
Your instincts, as instinctively as you know to breathe, your instincts tell you you can find this thing on the beach.
Okay. I will go down there then, I suppose. Throw, quick thing on and go.
Yeah. You make your way down to the beach. As you go, soldiers, occasional guard just gives you a nod. You're a lieutenant. You're welcome to be up and about. You don't have a curfew or anything like that. So,
Simple greeting.
yep. And you make your way down to the beach, which mostly seems empty. Now at night, you can only see the faint lapping of the waves on the beach, the white caps of the water, or of the waves cresting. And you hear it again. Sable. It's coming from above.
Look up. Do I see anything? How much hallucination am I doing?
You don't. You see a beautiful night sky, not a cloud visible. A almost endless smattering of stars coating this otherwise purple and black void. And the longer you look at it, the more you do see it. The face in the void, the two deep eyes in the void, the barely visible outline of this massive celestial dragon tracing all across the night sky.
Hello.
Hello. Where is she?
Who are you looking for?
You would call her Prime. You would call her your god. Oh no. I call her sister. She is that which is. I am that which is in between. And our brother is that which lies beyond.
Well, I don't rightly know, I'm afraid.
You, my sister's descendant. One of millions. She
Yes.
renounced herself. What once was that which is now that which is serene.
Okay, I think I follow, but what do you want of me?
Find her. Free her. Child of ninth. Child of Sable.
I suppose I'll do my best. Wouldn't happen to have any suggestions.
Seek my niece, her jailer.
All right then. I'll do that. And just sort of like look around for is there anybody else here?
It is empty on this beach, and as you look around, you hear nothing now. Just the rolling of waves.
Is there anything further? Or does it all just sort of fade?
It just seems to fade away. You can always hear the distant rumbling on the horizon, and you know that this great creature calling itself that which lies between has its eyes upon you. Long has it sought its sister.
Um, and just as a player to just help follow all of that, can you like drop that in the chat or something for us?
Yeah, I can give you the cliff
Or
notes.
for reference later.
Yeah. We're not sure if we're supposed to
3
know all the
siblings.
details yet.
That, which
I thought Sable was the name of
the
one of the types of Dragonborn.
They
Uncommon.
are each
Yeah.
Dragonborn takes their name, like they're of Ivory, of Scarlet,
Yeah.
from.
but Sable wasn't one of them, notably. Jet
Oh
was.
right, 'cause Jet was
Jet is,
okay.
but
okay.
Layla is notably called Layla of the Sable,
of the same.
which may have been a reference to Jet Dragonborn that lived off continent, but this being has said Sable is the ninth
Child of the Ninth.
ninth child.
Ninth child of dragon.
Yep.
You a special color.
Apparently, I don't know. I looked up words for black.
Which is between that which is and that which lies beyond. So which is prime goddess, which is between is presumably this being, and that which lies beyond is presumably boss.
You have no, because you know that Boss is one of the Prime Goddess's children.
Yeah. So this is
Ah.
someone
Okay, the
equal
only
to
thing
the
we
prime
know
goddess.
as old as the Prime Goddess, the Spirit of Serene.
It's the spirit of Serene.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem like what this is either. This claims that they are siblings. That the Prime Goddess would be their sister.
Do we have
Yes,
like
something equivalent?
do we
in,
have like a
magnitude?
do we have like a name for their for them, like
You don't.
Trinity or something?
I will tell you that in my book, I call them the Ascended.
Ooh.
Fancy.
Okay, I will write down. I will write that
Okay.
down.
For
So at the
for
end-
funsies, I'll give you a little bit of background on what this is. That which came first had 6 children, 2 sets of triplets that define all time and space. That which is between, that which is between, that which is, and that which lies beyond, and then that which came before, that which is, and which will come after.
Which is between.
Neat.
Yes.
I'm gonna call like pending name.
Do you have
on
names
my
already
notes.
for him?
Those are their names.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
People of this world call that which is the Prime Goddess, because notably, while she was at one time all worlds, she fell in love with truly only one and gave up her divinity for it, and she became the Prime Goddess of only Serene. I needed a way to finally explain why she gave up her divinity but is still clearly a god. I finally came up with it.
There's some Sandman stuff.
That is where I took some of the inspiration from.
I kind of wondered. I was like, this.
It's a mixture of Harry Dresden and Sandman is where I took my inspiration from.
Yeah.
All right. Well, once it fades, we'll a thoughtful stroll along the beach, sort of just absorbing all of that and contemplating it before heading back to wherever I was sleeping.
Mm-hmm. Very well, daughter of Sable.
How are they gonna believe me in the morning? Thinks back to the 12 hours ago where 2 of my companions changed. All right, I think they'll buy it.
They would have to be pretty fucking hypocritical not to.
Never mind. We're a nexus of weird stuff.
You are indeed. Well, that which lies between has been searching for his sister for a very long time.
Gives me Midgard's armor and Heidelin vibes.
Mhm.
They're because you said this is like a giant like space dragon, right?
It is in the shape of a dragon, but it is only defined through the void between stars. So it's as if the stars make the outline of this dragon, and you can never actually see it. You can only see its
Like-
absence.
Like seeing a bird at night.
Yes,
And
you can
also-
only see the void of it.
Maybe it is a dragon. Another interpretation is that it took a form that would be familiar to you.
Something that would make sense when you looked at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
We are very much
really-
talking beyond the stars now.
Yeah,
at this point.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what you insisted upon, but I don't know what you decided on, but that's another theory I would have come up with about
Mhm.
why it looked like
If
a dragon.
If it helps people visualize, I put a what do you call it? A picture in
Oh, Varelian
Mhm.
soul.
yeah.
That's actually an interesting way of describing it. That's actually what that which is once looked like.
Oh.
But yeah, this would be just void. You would see no defining features of it, just the faintest outline of it.
So just like the exact opposite of how soul is in that.
Yeah, if you literally like inverted that, you would get what this looks like.
Neato.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Okay. Oh, well, at the very least, like I have something in my notes for that because I was like furiously writing. It's like, oh god, soul.
No, for my own reference and for your note taking and everything, I figured that would be good stuff for us to have.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, but
That's
yeah,
why I asked.
thank you.
Yeah, it's sorry, yeah. I got all the names now. Is he who is between that you just spoke to, she who is, which is the prime goddess, and he who is beyond. Then there is the other set of triplets, that which was, that which is, and that which shall be. And I'll drop all those for you in the chat.
Oh, so they're different from.
Yep, there's 6
Two
elder
sets of
beings.
3.
Yep, 2 sets of triplets,
Two
born
sets of
from the
triplets.
original creature, that which came first.
But which came first before that?
So she who is the prime goddess,
Yes.
Yes,
I don't
Okay.
know.
and this is different from that which is.
correct.
She.
Olden times naming sucks.
Oh boy, does it.
Shit. Hold on. Okay.
Wait,
She who is.
And what's on second?
First base. Um,
There you go.
I literally just watched that the other day.
I fucking love that so much.
I performed that with a friend of mine in 5th grade. We had to do it for a class project. Anyway, it was fun.
Who is beyond but not. Okay, so who is beyond but not lies beyond. Okay. He who is beyond. And they are. Let's see.
Well, that's creepy.
Yes, we have met.
Existential horror!
We have met our first ascended being.
Yay,
So-
it's Cthulhu.
I mean, yes. So consider that the prime goddess, the most powerful being that you all have met, is one of these things that gave up its right to all existence and instead settled for one world.
Yay.
That which came first.
Oh dear.
In the morning, Lily is at your inn and requests breakfast with you, Layla.
But of course.
She gives a appreciative smile and takes you down to actually, she takes you to her ship because she says the food is better, and that is not a good thing. But the food in town is a little. They've had to like get rid of their entire food supply because supposedly it might have been corrupted by mushroom spores. So instead, it's pretty garbage right now. So instead, she takes you to the lady in waiting, and just you two have breakfast there, as she kind of just nods thoughtfully. So you all fought a dread demon.
Yes, it was quite an ordeal.
I would think so. I can't imagine.
And you know, she's very sort of distractedly.
Is the food
moving-
terrible? You can
moving
tell me. I'll
food
have the
around,
cook
but-
shot.
No, during the fight, at one point I was subsumed into it,
She kind of grimaces. Ugh.
and in a panic, I called out to the goddess and pledged to and hold up the little golden apple holy symbol. And I want to say I didn't know it would happen like this, but that would be lying. I used my magic to hurt it.
Mm. It was dread demon, right?
Yes.
Pardon me if I'm off base here. You can tell me. We want to hurt the dread demon, right?
Yeah. I don't.
You don't want to hurt the dread demon?
When I became a healer, I took an oath not to hurt anything.
Her gaze kind of softens. Oh. Right. Do no harm.
Yeah, that one. And I broke it.
How do you feel about that?
Like, almost like, who am I now?
Why did you take that oath?
To help others, to heal folks.
Did you help others yesterday?
I suppose, but it doesn't. It feels like it goes against the spirit of the thing.
I think that's beautiful. I love it. Do no harm. In the next battle I go to fight in, I'm going to drop my sword and drop my weapons and just stand there. When I die, do you want them to like send you word about that, or should like I leave it like a mystery? It could be like a, ooh, is she alive?
That hardly seems reasonable.
Imagine that. Look, you're a
And she
healer.
gets that like indignant look, like that's hardly fair.
You're a
Great.
medic. You're a healer. You have pledged yourself to healing people. And that's wonderful. And if someone comes into your surgery, you have sworn an oath to do them no harm. If you're out and about and someone collapses, you have sworn an oath to help them. But if you stand there while someone hurts your friends and do nothing, you're hurting them. If you stand by and allow evil to win, if you are just the good woman doing nothing, you're the villain. And your oath means nothing.
And she just sort of settles back with that ponder, that like I'm thinking hard face.
Aw.
It still feels wrong to hold on Tiela like that.
Yeah. It should. It shouldn't ever feel good to hurt someone. It shouldn't ever feel good to kill someone. She kind of gets a sudden sad look on her face. It shouldn't. And the problem for so many of us is we eventually forget. Eventually it does get too easy to hurt someone. But if someone came through that door right now and meant to hurt you, they'd be dead where they stand. When you have the ability to help and you don't, then when the bad things happen, it is your fault.
And she'll sigh. I suppose you just think I'm being obstinate for no
No.
reason.
No, I think you're someone who is too good for a war. I think you're a better person than anyone here deserves, most of all me. And I think it sucks that the realities of the world are clashing with a wonderful oath you made. But when your friends were in danger, not just of being killed, because if this was actually a dread demon, that was the least of your concerns. If they were in danger of having their souls corrupted, being barred out of the eternal cycle, could you have lived with yourself if you had stood aside and done nothing?
More frowning thinking. Thank you.
She nods. The people on this ship are my family. And I come off as a bitch a lot of the time to them. And I come off as more of a bitch to people who mean them harm. But that's because I would rather hate myself for doing something than hate myself for having not done it. I'll do whatever it takes to protect the people on this ship. Just like I know you will your friends.
And she'll give a little smile that, now, I know I've already imposed on you with that, a whole business, but if it's not too much of a bother, before we have to go back, could you just hold me for a bit?
She motions you over and pulls you down into the chair that she's sitting in and just wraps her arms around you. It is not a sin to protect those who cannot protect themselves. I may be a lying, stealing, thieving, pirating piece of shit, but even I believe that.
Just nod head against.
What's everyone else up to this morning?
I think Ayla has a talk to have with Nova and Asuka.
Yeah, I'd say you probably do. When Asuka sees you, she takes an extra moment like, handlebars?
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. And she glances at the tail. Oh, we're going to get good use out of that, too.
It's been a bit.
Is it prehensile?
Ayla just smacks her with it.
Oh, we're going to have a good time.
I feel kind of left out.
You won't. She starts starts counting, and it takes you a moment to realize she's counting your orifices.
Excuse you. Excuse you.
Hmm.
I don't know if either of you are that flexible.
We can find out.
Mumble crumble.
Between you and the werewolf, this should be quite a bit of fun. I've been told not to continue my search for Arya for the time being.
I wonder if it is being relegated elsewhere.
I think so. In the meanwhile, we're being assigned to help secure things around here, maintain defense for counterattacks while you all head on over to launch your attack on the Argenti.
Right, we still have that to do.
Yeah.
If
It will-
it makes you feel any better, we can keep an eye out for her.
That would make me feel better.
Do we have any idea where she went to?
No. No, she didn't say anything to us. She just said, just that she was going with you guys. I'm so worried about her, and yet I'm going to kill her.
The
I feel like
line
you might be in line behind Ramiel
that is true.
Yeah.
and probably Tashira.
Yeah.
Yes, that as well. So you might already have a dead Arya by the time you get to her.
Yeah, that's what Layla's for.
That is true.
Uh-huh.
But there's a line between I'm so worried I'm going to cry and I'm so worried I'm going to smack you is a very thin line.
True. So, Ayla, you wanted something?
Well, in the interest of honesty, we might be walking that line. I said yesterday that I thought I almost died. I think I did.
And that's how you got the horns and the tail? Is that a thing ASMR do when they die? You get an extra life? I heard Caldana died once, but that was a different thing, I think. And I think she already had the horns and the tail.
I don't think she had the wings.
She definitely didn't have the wings. Until later, though, she did get wings.
Really? I don't keep up with these stories.
No, I don't know how else I would have had a vision of one of my other lives. It's a vision, tieflings of every color with a meteor just hanging in the sky, and I
The night the sky burned.
swore to defend them in my future lives. And I picked up the whip in that past life. And I think that's why I came back, and well,
Okay, so let me just see if I'm processing this all right. Braylee almost gets eaten. She does get eaten, and she turns into a werewolf. And you get eaten and die and turn into, I don't know, something out of a lusty novel. And you, she points at Nova, you have another person in your head. So, I don't know, when is something cool going to happen to me? Like, I can't help but feel a little left behind in this relationship.
Oh, you don't need to leave left behind. You're exactly where you need to be.
That sounds like what you say to the person who doesn't get a cool transformation.
Perhaps it's coming? Saves the best for last?
You're damn right. Saves the best for last. She just pouts. I'm going to get 4 boobs.
Great. I don't know if I'm flexible for that, but I'll try.
well, I mean, we each have 2 hands.
That is true. That is true.
But I didn't want to worry the rest of them with it, but didn't feel right to not tell the 2 of you.
All right. So I'm just going to say only one who hasn't almost. Maybe that's what I have to do to get my cool transformation.
Asuka?
No.
No.
All right. Look. I just drown a little bit.
No, Asuka. No, this is bad. We are not doing an experiment for a possible transformation sequence. It has to happen naturally. There's some bullshit. I don't know.
That does sound like some bullshit.
I perhaps.
All
Listen,
right.
you were already cool before we came here.
I mean,
That's true.
yeah, obviously.
Daughter of a famous Thieves Guild owner. You already had it made.
Plus, we can't burn down a Thieves Guild and build a new one if you do actually die trying to get, wings or something.
I mean,
we could, but it wouldn't be the same without you.
It's true.
oh, well, I mean, that's just a fact. All right. Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Me too.
But we're all okay. Or as okay as we can be.
So, Nova, that brings me to you.
Yes.
Are we adding the werewolf into this little group of ours? Is that what's happening?
Listen,
Because you're getting real close with her, and I'm just saying we have a rule about sharing in this group.
we do.
Yes! I mean, of course, you're welcome to, have your eyes out there. Clearly, we're all looking, but, like, if we're gonna... I mean, when they're as hot as she is...
I will extend the invitation.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. She can say no if she wants to, but, I mean... Oh, like you weren't thinking it. She looks at you, Ayla.
I never denied that.
Correct.
Are we going to just put me out there and just use me as a figurehead to add more people, because this is getting to be a lot for me.
I mean, well, we'd have to take some of those clothes off first, but yeah, sure.
Just like my mother's daughter.
I always knew it'd end up this way.
I just always knew. I knew it would come to this. To use those skills she taught me. I probably should have another conversation with her anyway.
Yeah, Sorry, my mind went elsewhere.
Oscar,
Same.
Oscar. Goodness, you two! You think of nothing but sex. I say as Rashid is not Rashid. Sorry, Rashira. Wrong character, Sarah. Very different character.
Yeah.
Let's not think the Gif Yankee. Rashira is just kind of. I can just feel her smirking at me.
You can feel Rashira like panting.
Oh my god. Rashira, contain thy ovaries.
I will not.
uh,
It is going to be a long time, I think, before it is my turn, Mizabati, so I am going to enjoy this any way I can.
right. If I die by any chance, perhaps you might look for someone to be born who Shirin and I think we're in a cycle.
Like, if
Like,
it's that time of the month, that's okay.
no, like when I die, I think she will be born.
Oh,
We don't really quite understand it yet.
is that okay? I've never heard of anything like that.
I don't think there are many. I don't know if there are any. It's strange. It's a different sort of. We kind of made a contract accidentally, and now we are like this.
Okay.
I feel like there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, you know what? I don't have time to unpack any of that.
Well, we
So
will,
is
but
she part of the
unpacking that would be a
polycule
lot
too? Is the
for-
other one?
Mentally, I mean, if you want, she'll visit your dreams.
I do. I
All
would.
right.
Yes, I would like that.
She'll visit later. She says.
Excellent.
Okay. Well, that's a lot.
Listen, just it's a dream, so she can do more things than I can. Okay, not jealous of the spirit in my head or anything.
You'll have your turn.
Mumble grumble,
Look,
mumble grumble.
we could unpack that, and Ayla's just gonna kind of wrap her tail around Nova's leg and wing around Asuka.
All right. Well, they fade to black, so no one sees them till afternoon.
I would like to talk to Freely after this. But first, we gotta get some shit out, I think.
Or in, as the case may be.
Brayley, in the morning, when you come downstairs, Calcifer is waiting there. And he looks concerned, I think. Good morning, Brayley.
Hi.
I heard there was a werewolf walking through town that matched your description, and I thought, surely not. But then I thought, no, probably.
You do get surprised like that, huh?
Well, particularly with you. Yeah, I would say there have been a lot of surprises, yes. I'm growing quite fond of them in some ways. It's never boring.
Nope. Quite to be honest, I'm still trying to get used to it myself. There were like ears, like she motions to her head. I had like ears, and like there's face stuff happening. I'm assuming
Wow.
Rayleigh's not like in it right now. So.
No.
I had a tail, and like she pulls up her shirt, and these were next level. Like
Stare.
they're nice. They're nice
Uh,
now, but like
yeah.
even more so.
His cheeks turn bright red. Yeah, they're always great.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's profusely sweating. Anyway, God, is it hot in here? Whew. Um. Well, I was. I wanted to talk, talk to you. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. Is
We are
Uh,
talking.
Oh, so we are. uh
Do you want? I'm really hungry. Can we like eat and talk?
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Uh, what would you like to eat?
Oh, meat, sausage. Is there breakfast sausage here?
Yeah, I'll see what we can scrounge up.
Sausage, you say?
Do you
Um,
cook?
I I can cook, yes. Do you want me to cook for you? I'll cook you breakfast.
Oh no, you don't have to.
Okay. Um, yeah, I'm actually relieved. My shoulder's very sore. I had to clean the mess hall last night. But
Oh, I'm sorry if there's a pile of crumbs under the table. I got ravenous last night.
there was. Oh, that was you. Makes sense. Um, no, we might as well have breakfast here. I did clean it. And food is eventually brought over, and he just kind of watches in awe as you inhale. Um, listen, I wanted to say to you that, well, there's word going around the camp that you and yours killed a dread demon.
Oh, yeah. Bailey like stops eating, and she like puts her food down, puts her fork down, like kind of looks at the table.
So you did. It's true then.
Yeah.
In the moment that leaves your mouth, he is across the table and is hugging you.
Aw.
That must have been terrifying.
I was gonna I was inside of it and I thought I was gonna die. I was inside of it and I thought that was it.
He just kind of sits quietly and lets you speak. That must have been horrific.
Yeah, now Bailey's like uncomfortable and she kind of just like wants a little space.
Yeah,
just
I think noticing that he'll back up a little bit.
yeah. I was being dragged inside of it and I just didn't know if help was coming. Like we were all trying our best, but it just felt like it couldn't stop it. And so
Yeah.
she just like shakes her head, looks at the table. I just thought that was it.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm glad it wasn't it. But I imagine that doesn't make it any easier to have had to contend with that it might have been. What did you think to yourself in those what you thought might be those last moments?
I don't know, I think I blacked out towards the end. I elked out, which I hadn't done before.
You elked out? Is that a
I'm
slang I
sorry,
don't
that
know?
I turned into an elk. Wasn't really sure what else to do.
Right. That's like when you turn into the bear.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So you can do an elk now. That's cool.
I just felt like a trapped animal. and then I came out a werewolf. And like she's avoiding eye contact, and she's just feels sick again. The same sick she felt coming out of it.
The old stories, from before Scala's return, the old stories say that Fauna was a werewolf, that she could assume the form of a woman, a dire wolf, or a werewolf.
So I can turn into a dire wolf too?
Well, that is not at all what I just said, but I don't know. Can you?
I'm not sure what you're trying to. Where were you going?
Just to say that if you are a werewolf, you're not. There have been werewolves in the past that were wonderful, good people, and Fauna herself was a werewolf.
Are werewolves not good people?
Well, a lot of the stories about them would certainly suggest not, though I can't say I've ever met one until now.
I don't think I've met one either.
Well, they are very rare. But if you're one, then 100% of the werewolves I know are great people.
I don't feel great.
No, I would imagine not. I'd be worried if you did.
And I don't know if I can look at a mushroom and say.
It's the saddest part.
I look at I love Puck, but I look at him and I'm like, I don't know.
My nan used to say that when she was young, they taught her that dread demons corrupt the things that we love most, that they corrupt all that they touch. And I always took that so literally, I always took that to mean like they could touch you and you'd become corrupted. But I think I learned as time went on that really what it meant is that they ruin the perception of things. But I don't think it can be overstated that you went into that forest and you killed it. You stood up against a dread demon and won.
I didn't though. I was eaten by it. I was in it. I didn't kill it. I was devoured by it.
Yeah. Often
We almost all
died.
Yeah.
In the last 500 years, there are only 4 recorded cases of a dread demon being beaten. You guys are number 5. It's not a surprise that it was close.
I know you're trying to make me feel better, but I feel like I don't feel.
Feel however you have to feel. There is no right or wrong way to feel. You faced something horrible, and it nearly cost you everything. So whatever you have to feel, feel it. And I'll sit here next to you, and I'll feel it with you.
You grab some toast.
For you, I'll grab a few pieces of toast, and I'll put some peanut butter on them.
That'd be awesome.
He returns a few moments later with a stack of toast with peanut butter on it, which you are aware that you will not get sustenance from. However, you do get to taste it, and it is still comforting. but he eats some of it with you, and just sits quietly and lets you talk when you need to. Lets you vent.
Rayleigh's not gonna say too much.
He'll tell you a story every now and then. He has a lot of tales about growing up and going to school. He was bullied and picked on a lot, so a lot of the stories are kind of like him trying to like escape a tough situation, things like that, or trying to find ways around it because he was not a very good fighter. He was a giant nerd, effectively, but
What was he a nerd of?
he was a big time nerd on marine biology. He lived in a coastal town, and he loved fish, and he loved shellfish especially. He's what we call a car nerd.
She looks
Zing.
she looks offended.
Not wrong.
I mean, the words are not incorrect. They're just.
A little rude.
It doesn't make it less rude. Interesting. But yeah.
Do you need to fix something, or are you okay?
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
Ramiel, you don't actually get to bed the prior night. You stay up for most of the night with Canis and Orion. When you enter into the surgery, Canis is there just kind of leaning over the bed and stroking Orion's cheek as he rests. And he looks over at you as you enter in and smiles and beckons for you to sit. You two kind of talk quietly as Orion rests, but he eventually does awaken and comments that the two of you plotting is the most terrifying thing he's ever awakened to.
You're lucid.
Lucid's a word for it. The
How many fingers am I holding up? You holds up two.
2, and if you were staring at Canis, maybe a third appendage.
Raises an eyebrow at that.
He kind of gives a shit-eating grin.
Mm.
How are you feeling?
Don't worry about me. How are you doing?
He kind of pushes up into a sitting position using his good arm to do so. Well, I feel like what death rolled over, but you know, better than not feeling at all, I suppose. Only by a little bit.
You've seen it then.
Seen what?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
As
Uh,
always.
He looks over at Canis. Aren't you supposed to be at Fort West Road? I got leave to come see you because I heard that my boyfriend was in critical care, and he rolls his eyes. So you abandoned your post to come waste your time sitting next to me in this room. And Canis just like, oh my God. I would hit you if you weren't already on the verge of death. And he just kind of chuckles. Oh, you're as bad as Ramiel. He came all the way over here from Fort Red Rock just to make sure I was okay. Should be marching towards, where is it you're going? Fort Argenti?
It's on the way.
Is on the way? It's the opposite way, is what it is. You should be marching your scrawny ass over there.
We had to deal with a little something. nearby.
Deal with what?
Um, there was a little bit of a fungal problem, and we were to address it.
He blinks like, what kind of a fungal problem? Like, you mean like mushrooms? Is Brayley okay?
Yes.
Did Brayley start it?
I'm
This sounds like a
not-
Brayley thing.
No. It's something a little more larger scale, but hopefully we've dealt with it, and hopefully it's the last that we'll see of it.
Uh-huh. And they
But
needed you all for that. They didn't just send out a few enlistees.
they did, and was that was where the problem began. Whoever they sent did not return.
He
So-
sits up at that point, and you know he should not be sitting up, but he actually like pushes forward as if he's gonna get out of bed.
Eh,
And Canis also pushes him back. No.
you, sir, need rest.
What I need is I need to hit the gym. That's what I need. I need exercise. I need to get the hell out of this bed.
You need rest and recuperation is what you need.
He like looks down at his like burned over and like shredded arm. I don't know. I feel like, some pull-ups will we'll get this taken care of.
Ryan,
Yeah, all right. I'm not used to this.
you're not used to sitting.
I'm not used to people taking care of me. This is I can take care of myself. I always have.
Well, now you have us. You have your own platoon, your own group.
Look. You you're the brilliant one, the mage, the caster, and he points to Canis, and you're a captain and a leader and strong and all that, and you got that going. I'm an idiot, and I don't have a ton to offer other than I can sustain myself, okay? So I don't want to be a burden.
Ryan. And Ramiel reaches up and cups his cheek. Ryan,
Notably, I do need to ask, which cheek? Is it the one that is bandaged over or the one that is not?
the one that's bandaged over.
He, as you go to touch it, he kind of like pulls away a little bit. You don't want to see it. It's disgusting.
I didn't fall in love with you because of how you look. I fell in love with you because you have the biggest heart out of all the people that I've met.
Yeah, the doctors were concerned about that too. They say it's enlarged.
You know, that's not what I meant.
He kind of gives a half smile. I know.
You have a kind of strength and tenacity that's envious. You have had similar experiences with loss that I've had, and instead of letting it change you for the worse, use that to fuel yourself for the better. And you continue to do so. The entire fucking reason that you're here is because you saved my sister. Because you knew that it was something that only you could do. There was no hesitation in that.
He nods. And he looks at Canis. Yeah, you feel the same way? And Canis shakes her head. Nah, I just think you guys are going to make a lot of money at some point, and I want to be in for it. And Orion just looks at him like, God. Canis gives a half smile and leans down and kisses the top of his head. No. Ramiel's right. You got too big a heart. It's going to get you killed one of these days, but damn if I'm not attracted to it. Also, if you ever say that Ramiel has a scrawny ass again, I will put you back in this bed. You will respect that cake. And then he gets up and he smacks Ramiel's ass and leaves.
Wait. I feel we're due a conversation.
Didn't we just have a conversation? Was that not it?
With Orion, yes. With you, no.
Oh, good. My specialty. All right. You want to do that here, or should we step outside, or?
And he kind of looks over at Orion. Would you mind if I spoke with Canis in private?
Not at all. I'll tell you what. You two stay here. I'll go hit up the mess hall.
No, no.
all right.
You are going to stay right here. You're going to rest. And if I get word that you have been spotted anywhere near any of the equipment, you've us to answer to.
Threaten me with a good time, why don't you? Okay, all right. I'll stay here until the doctor says I can get up.
And Ramiel is going to just do like that touch on the chin, lean in and go, good boy. Stay.
Oh God. The Dom of Orion and the sub of Callie. Okay, we're all right.
Honey, no.
And you exit out with Canis, who just decides to walk around town with you as you two talk. All right. What are we talking about?
Well, I felt it prudent that we ought to address the elephant in the proverbial room.
All right. I guess I knew this day was going to come. It's true. Not a natural blonde. I didn't mean to. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but I guess I knew I was always gonna have to bring it up eventually. It was an alter self spell. I just thought, the red hair looks great, but why not try blonde?
Well, first off, I quite like redheads.
Oh,
To be completely honest with you, dark hair is really nice.
as you say that, he leans up and taps the choker that he's wearing, and no sooner does he do so than a wave, his hair changes from the bright platinum blonde that it was into this deep fiery shade of red.
And Ramiel is eyeing that with there is a look on him.
Has something awakened?
It's more so there is an honesty in his eyes.
Yeah. Canis
Nothing
chuckles.
nothing in his face has changed, but like there is an honesty in his eyes that wasn't there before.
Oh. A fan, huh?
Always have been.
That's not what you wanted to talk about, is it?
No, it's partly
Oh.
what I wanted to talk about.
Oh.
So I was wondering if this arrangement is something that you're more familiar with, given your reputation.
Oh my god.
Given my penchant for keeping a little harem on my ship. You can say what you mean.
Well, I suppose I've myself to blame for it, but I don't know. I suppose I felt a little pained when I learned that the token you had handed to me all those years ago was not something that was as special as I thought it was.
Well, look, I can't say anything to change that. Yeah, you were one of many that I laid eyes on and fancied, and that is true. I will say that you are the only one I've ever called my boyfriend.
I distinctly remember you calling Ryan your boyfriend.
You know what I mean, you smartass.
Well, I suppose I've myself to blame for it.
Well, I'm sure you'll try to find a way to.
What does that mean?
Well, I'll put it this way. I'm surprised you're not a paladin, given how often you try to take the hits.
Oof.
Oh, burn!
Well then.
Well, first of all, do I look like I'm built to be one? I'm no Varys.
Thank the gods. No, you look like a proper twink, and I'm glad for it.
You have not seen Lord Arkwright then. Oh, well, no. Office.
I have, as a matter of fact, seen Lord Arkwright, and he is also a proper twink.
Did you know
that-
he called me a dog-ass loser the other day?
Were you being a dork-ass loser?
I was not. I was having thoughts. And he just happened to disagree with such thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Were those thoughts the thoughts of a dork-ass loser?
Listen.
So that's a yes.
I was pondering on whether or not what I felt was being disingenuous to certain people because, well, as it turns out, I love not just Orion but you. And again, I've entirely myself to blame for it. You have your own harem, as you put it. And
I didn't bring the harem to war. That would be irresponsible.
And well, I guess it's more on me that I've developed feelings that may or may not be unrequited, given. Well, why?
Aramore, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry, we're in the middle of a scene. Unrequited?
Well, yes, harem.
Right. That was before you and Orion came back into my life.
Romuald stops dead in his tracks.
I mean, I'm here.
Because of Orion.
Yes, because of Orion. And you, my boyfriends. The people I love. The people who annoy the hell out of me. People who, bluntly, are really the only ones I care about. Jesus. Thank you for the follow on a Gary series. Scared the hell out of me. I don't know why my sound alerts are working again all of a sudden.
We also got
They've
a
also
pronoun
redeemed
check.
yeah.
Oh, pronoun check. Hello, everybody. My name is Callie. I'm our game mistress, she, her. Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm she, they.
Layla?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Layla's
She,
sound
her.
is...
Sorry.
Oh, she, her. Okay,
No.
there we go.
No, that was me forgetting that I had push to talk on.
Gotcha.
That was merely incompetence, not technical issues.
Ramiel?
Hi, I'm Mal. I'm she, they, playing Romuald, he, him, twink.
He, him, twink. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's correct.
I was gonna say I'm a she, they playing a they, she.
Braley?
I'm Liz, she, her, playing Braley, she, her.
And Ayla?
She, they.
Hell yeah.
All in between.
Yes. Welcome to the gayest, thirstiest game you've ever watched in your entire life. We have two polycules forming, two separate polycules that might be joining into a single polycule. I don't know.
They're being absorbed into the.
We had a session where one of our characters had ground up mushrooms snorted off their abs. That happened in one of these sessions.
One of it was. I'm pretty sure it was both after Ayla.
This
Ayla
fits-
was doing body shots
No,
off
that
her
was
abs.
body
Oh,
shots.
okay.
Yeah.
Slightly
Totally
different.
different thing.
We
An
feel
ab
home.
buffet.
Well, we also do a lot of FF14 in this community, so yeah, you are indeed you are indeed among friends here. We're another day at the quicksand. That's painfully true. We're on our server, by the way. We're on the Mateus server. Sorry, we're on the Mate
No, we're
Us
not.
server.
Mate Us.
Sorry, I know. So yeah.
If you see a house
Oh,
in Ishgard with
Hey,
a,
Ralph
with
Cast
a
is also
pink
on
roof,
Mateus. Yeah, if you're in Ishgard and you see a house with an offensively pink roof, that's us.
it's a beacon. But
It
yeah,
is.
Yeah, we're all thirsty around here.
Yep. So make sure you join the Discord if you haven't. Welcome to the community. It's the gayest, thirstiest community around, and yeah, welcome to the madness. So pink, I just get mad and don't know why.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's-
If you read people who
Yeah,
have
people
signed
read
our
the-
board,
read the comments in our book. There's a lot of very angry people
it's really funny.
at the
They're
blazing
past 2
beacon
years.
of queerness that is in our subdivision now.
But yeah,
The
but yeah.
Ishgard HOA do not like us.
No,
No, they
we've
do
had
not.
many complaints from the homeowners association. That's
from
for
the
that's
past
for sure.
2 years, 2 fucking years.
It's
Fuck
true.
it, bro.
Right now we're having we're in the middle of a love confession between a polycule of a trans man, a twink elf boy, and a large himbo. So, but yes, Canis Mistal looks at you and nods. I don't like using the L word because, especially in war, it seems like the people that we love are the ones that fate targets first. It's been my experience. So, Instead, I'm going to say this to you, Ramiel. The two of you are what make getting back on that ship worth it. Thank you for the follows.
Heinous, and Romuel is gonna approach him and pull him into a hug.
He hugs you back very tightly.
No, you know what? I've been agonizing on these feelings for quite a while because, frankly, you awakened me to a truth about myself that I feel that I've known, but didn't want to face it until I met you.
Were you in the
And-
closet?
Oh, I wasn't even aware that there was a closet and
Oh. Oh.
and then I met you. And everything made so much sense.
Well, that must have been a bit of a surprise. Especially because, not, there's Orion, and then there's me, and then there's you. One of these things is not like the other.
Heinous, I don't care about what sort of tools you have equipped. I care about the man who showed me that there was indeed beauty in this world. You were unapologetically honest and genuine about who you were. And it was dazzling. It was brilliant.
You, Ramiel Larest, are a sweet talker.
I've read a few books.
Well, I will not stand for it. I will not stand for your sweet nothings. No. You're going to back them up with actions.
And Romuald sort of pulls away from that, and he goes, "Oh, I must confess, I am quite inexperienced in that department.
Well, then you'll need to be trained, won't you?
You think you can bring me to heel?"
Jesus.
His lips just curl into a smile. We're going to fade to black right there.
In the middle of a street.
Yeah. And anyone who walks by is going to get an eyeful of a training session.
Listen, when it happens, it happens.
That city's been through so much. What's like
What's one
Stuck
more
in an
thing?
alleyway,
face of black in the
goddamn.
street?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, no. They're all going to see.
Yeah, Ayla's right. It is a top fight. It is a fucking Beyblade. In there.
You mean gay? You mean gay blade?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Let's at least if we're gonna make the joke, let's make the
Oh,
joke.
Yeah.
Choked on my pickle.
So did Ramiel.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you know, Ramiel does not have a gag reflex.
Yeah, not anymore.
Not
after
anymore. That
Orion.
got trained out of him.
But he lacks an experience and makes up with diligent amounts of practice.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Appropriate that this session got delayed till Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah, I was gonna say this. Listen, after last session, we needed a thirsty session.
Yeah.
Because last session was just unmitigated horror for the better
Yeah.
part of the
Yeah.
session.
Now it's unmitigated horny.
Now it is unmitigated
Yeah.
horny. Yeah, it
Return
really.
to normal, really.
Yeah, really. It's we have hit the two pillars of a Cali campaign here. Oh boy, that is a great spot for us to wrap up.
Oh, okay. Fair
So,
enough.
I think yeah, well, yeah. On that, that's